I'm still trying to figure out the lighting. As you can see, I don't know how to do this. I mean, I knew how to do this, but I never had this budget to do this. Those who know, they know. Hi, and you must be wondering why I'm doing this. Well, एक हफ्ते पहले मेरा टाका भिड़ा था. I got stitches and I couldn't do anything because of the pain. And it means I could not write, I could not read. I basically couldn't do anything that I wanted to do because I was in so much pain and agony. But now that I'm a little better, I wanted to make something that would, nullify pure week ka laziness and bed rotting. So here I am. I had this video idea for a very long time. I actually wanted to write a Substack essay, but well, I am lazy, and that is going to be a running topic in this entire video. But yeah, कुछ महीनों पहले, I think एक महीने पहले, I had posted this on my Instagram story. So I am trying to write a Substack essay on Urdu and how it is perceived in India. And while researching, I came across these couple of lines written by Rizwan Singh, where he mentions how Urdu is dubbed as the language of Muslims, which is far from true. Urdu is not restricted to a certain community or religion in India. It is language for all, but it is dubbed as that, which is true. It is dubbed as that, but I digress. What he also wrote is that within Muslim household, the parents make sure that the children learn Hindi instead of Urdu or the language of the region they grow up in. I don't belong to a Muslim household, so I cannot vouch for this statement. And even though, rest in peace, Khushwant Singh, he's a brilliant man, I don't have data to corroborate this line. So if you have grown up in a Muslim household or in a region where you were close to Muslims, can you vouch for this line or tell me is it true or not, whether Hindi is preferred over Urdu in the houses or not? And safe to say, मैंने रिसर्च नहीं किया उसके बाद, मतलब आज किया बहुत सारा, बट हाँ मैंने नहीं किया क्योंकि मैं थक गई थी, and it's a huge topic to research on. But I'll start with how and why I wanted to talk about this topic. Well, it starts with me and my ex-boyfriend. I failed a Bechdel test 2 minutes into the video, but yeah, I digress. So my music taste was heavily influenced by him, and even though it's not like बहुत ही गंदा music taste था, उसका बहुत अच्छा music taste था, but I wanted to develop a music taste of my own, of course. So after the breakup, it was a constant fight between me and my Spotify to have my Spotify Wrapped cleansed of all the top artists that he might also have. I did eventually in 2024, except for Kanye. I can't. I miss the old Kanye, straight from the gold Kanye. And I love Kanye. But yeah, I digress. So when I was discovering my own music taste, I realized that my music taste is quite simple, and honestly, it's out there. It's what I call the disco music. So it's basically Bollywood or Hindi songs that are that deal with melancholy and agony and overall the pain of loss, separation, whether it's with your loved ones or in general dark and sad themes. But you can also twerk to these songs, if you know what I mean. Like, I'll play some sample songs so you'll understand. I also have a Spotify playlist called The Disco on my account, so it's linked below. You can check it out to understand better. But the common theme of all the songs was that they are heavily in Urdu. Like, the lyrics are very much Urdu lyrics. And not just anything, like instead of Hriday, you say Dil. It's not like that Urdu. It's like heavy Urdu phrases that I had to Google meaning of. And we all know the famous Urdu lyricists of our times, Javed Akhtar and Gulzar. But there were many, many who also wrote in Urdu. So I wanted to find songs that were not of the 2000s. They were of 2010s or even 20s, like recent songs as well. to listen to. And to my surprise, there weren't many, or there were many I could jam to, or I couldn't find in Bollywood at least. The albums that come on top of my head are Kabir Singh albums, Sayyara. Sayyara tu to badla nahi hai. Sayyara बोल के लाइट बंद हो गया. Oh my god. But yeah, it is true. Like Ashiki 1 walked, Ashiki 2 ran, and Sayyara, like it was too close to the sun, I think. But हाँ, and मैंने notice किया कि काफी उर्दू lyrics कम हो गए हैं in recent songs, so that piqued my interest. Pique. I think I'm on spectrum, and it's very evident. But yeah. On top of that, last year I bought this book celebrating the best of Urdu poetry, selected by Khushwant Singh and Kamna Prasad. I bought it from Blossoms. If you are from Bangalore, you would know. And I bought this because I really wanted to dive deep into Urdu poetry. Like, I want to dive deep into Hindi poetry as well, but Hindi was a subject in my school. And when you are taught something as a subject, दिमाग उतना बाद में process नहीं करना चाहता क्योंकि PTSD हो जाता है. मतलब whenever I open गोदान, I'm like, oh my god. एक तो नाम कैरेक्टर्स के तुलसी अन में थी. I can't stop laughing, I'm sorry. उसके बाद मुझे इतना दर्द पड़ के दुख का अधिकार चैप्टर की याद आ जाती है. But yeah, I digress. But I wanted to read, and the best thing about this book is, so the ghazals are basically in, like, they are divided as per the poets. So you have the poet's name, you have the poet's description in English, then you have the ghazal in Hindi in Devanagari script. You have it in Romanized script, like WhatsApp language, and then you have the English translation. But it also is for someone who wants to get into Urdu poetry, because the poems, the ghazals are really, really good. Like, it is not an introduction, it's a celebration, rightly written. But it's not written in Urdu. Like, Urdu script hi nahi hai. It's called Rekhta, as far as I remember. If this comes across as like very ill researched, like, I'll put all the words that I'm trying to say baju mein, kyunki I am a little lazy like that. I work post production, not pre production. But yeah, so there was that. So while reading this book, in the introduction itself, Khushwant Singh himself mentions that there's a decline in Urdu poetry and Urdu speaking in general. Like, he quotes this couplet by Rashid, and by the way, couplet is called shairi in Urdu, as far as I know. So ghazal can be of any topic, like the shairi. So ghazal is a collection of shairi, and shairis are a couplet, like dohas. And the two shairis need not make sense together, it need not be coherent, but nazm should be coherent. It's about the same topic, shairi, all the shairis of same topic, all the couplets of same topic. So the more you know. So he mentions Rashid's one of the couplets that मांगे अल्लाह से बस इतनी दुआ है रशीद, मैं जो उर्दू में वसीयत लिखूं बेटा पढ़ ले. And I was like, hell, oh my god, this is heart touching. And he talks about Urdu is dying a slow death in the land where it was born and where it flourished. And he was obviously talking about India. He is not talking about Pakistan, where Urdu is the national or official language. I will let you know. Urdu is still quoted in debates, and it remains one of the most quotable Indian languages. And he also quotes Afsar Bisrani, खुर्शीद अफसर बिसरानी. अब उर्दू क्या है, एक कोठे की तवाइफ है, मज़ा हर एक लेता है, मोहब्बत कौन करता है. This is why I like Urdu poetry. But it is very true. We are quoting Urdu. It's not like Urdu is in decline. It's just, we just quote it. We don't celebrate it. He has also talked about the region plus economic divide of Urdu, how Kashmir is the only place where Urdu is taught till post-graduation. And that is where that's where the Instagram story that I posted comes into picture, where I asked people, especially who grew up in households where Urdu is spoken a lot, or in those kind of neighborhoods, whether it's true or not. And I got a few responses, and some of them backed what Khushwant Singh was talking about, where Muslims especially, Muslim households where Urdu is widely spoken, offsprings learn Hindi or the language of the region so that it can ensure them jobs in English. And champions of both Urdu and Hindi refuse to budge from their positions on the script to use. So people who write Urdu in Arabic script, they refuse to admit that it can be easily read in Devanagari or Roman, which is true. There are a lot of alphabets that are there in Urdu but not in Hindi, like the ones where we put the taut below, like kh or kh, where the sound is very guttural. So a word like khuda is actually khuda. And this point will come up later in the video. So it makes sense. That is how the death of Urdu language in India began. And he also talks about the relevance of Urdu in Pakistan and Pakistani music while it is dying in India. But India is also very much the place where Urdu was born from. So my thought immediately goes that maybe this is a recent death, because till 2010s, like my music taste, what if I told that I am 33-year-old? I'm exactly 10 years older than how much I am right now. And I listen to the disco all the time, the playlist. So this death is quite recent, or the gradual death, the beginning of the gradual death is quite recent. And I obviously, as a person whose political ideology is very different. And very different, I mean, not matching the current government. I'm just trying to say it in a way that doesn't get me cancelled or worse, killed. I obviously thought that, oh, it's because of the government. It's because of the rise of the nationalist thought. It's because of rise of this certain religions, extremist thoughts. Of course, because let's be honest, on 2nd November, we celebrated Shah Rukh Khan's 60th birthday, and a lot of movies were released. Mehuna was released. Om Shanti Om was released. I went and watched Om Shanti Om. But guess which film was not released? So, of course, there is some truth to it. But I wanted to do a deep dive and deep study. And here it goes. So, I will, in this video, not talk about origin of Urdu and everything. Like, I am not a linguist. That is not the best thing I can talk about. And what I want out of this video is to people watch this video and then do their own research. Obviously, that is my primary aim. So if this pushes you to do your own research, me not telling you stuff because I want you to do your own research, not because I did not do my research itna zyada. I mean, I did, but I forgot. I don't have my notes ready, So let's move on to what my thought process was. My thought process was first to find out papers on Urdu, and do people really think that there is a decline in the Urdu language? And yes, people do think. There are a lot of research papers that I found out. These are my findings, and these are the reasons I feel that Urdu is dying a slow death, and why this phenomena is happening. Is it because of the current government and the current religion extremist behavior that we are seeing in India, or is it because of something totally different that we are not paying attention to? So the first thing is commodification of Urdu. The thing I talked about, where I quoted Khushret Afsar Bisrani. I'm sorry that if I'm butchering the pronunciation. It's not written in Hindi. It's written in English. I just don't know how to read it. Anyway, the paper is called Urdu in Bollywood, Language and Disintegration, and it is authored by Rizwan Ahmad from Qatar University, and he did his research in 2018. All the research papers that I'm quoting in this video will be linked down below. It's on ResearchGate as well, so you can have a look by yourself. So Rizwan Ahmad's research argues that Bollywood has created a disintegrated form of Urdu, a form that is easily digestible by all people who love Urdu and people who are religion extremist. While the industry continues to rely on Urdu vocabulary or lexicon to evoke nostalgia and romantic depth, it systematically ignores the language's phonology or pronunciation. This is where I was talking about how people who write Urdu in Arabic script believe that the same cannot be reflected in Devanagari script, and the people who write Hindi poetry in Devanagari script believe that it can be. But let's be honest, we know people who have studied Hindi, they know that there are words called Tatsam Shabd and there are words called Tadbhav Shabds, and we borrow a lot of words from a lot of languages all the time. But there are few alphabets that are not present in Hindi, and even though Hindi tries to be very accommodating by adding a small dot below kh or k to give it a better Urdu sounding pronunciation, let's be honest, it's a different language. You cannot have a language's pronunciation exactly replicate in some other language, even though they are very close. They belong to the same Hindustani family of languages. They derive literally from the same family tree, but one is very Sanskritized and one is very Persianized or Arabicized. He also talks about this concept of the index of Urduness. It's something that he introduces in the paper, which relies on the specific phonetic markers, specifically the guttural sounds that I was talking about, like kh and k. Like katil, if we write in Hinglish, will be Katil, but it should be Qatil, katil, and ghen. His analysis reveals a decline in the accurate pronunciation of these sounds in modern playback singing. Contemporary singers often replace these distinct Urdu phononyms with their nearest Hindi equivalent, like Kurbani becomes Kurbani. I think I butchered Kurbani ka pronunciation of Urdu, but you get the point, I hope. And which is very true. Like in older songs, in 2013 songs, Khada was very well pronounced. Even by Arijit Singh, and there's a concept called the Arijit Singh gification of songs, which I'll touch upon a little later. But the same singer then makes it Khuda. He makes it very Hindicized, the same word's pronunciation. The essay argues that it's not just about bad pronunciation, but a sociological shift. Bollywood fetishizes Urdu. Words for their emotional weight but refuses to respect the linguistic rules that make them Urdu, effectively turning the language into a mere aesthetic filter over Hindi. And there's one particular thing that is very similar to what Khashrid Afsar Bisrani said in his couplet, that Urdu is present in the lexicon but absent in phonology. It is a phantom language in modern Bollywood. There's another theory that researchers have talked about, that is the theory of lexical narrowing, and it is based on the longitudinal studies of Perso-Arabic Lexica, which was done on songs from 1940 till 2020. And quantitative analysis of Bollywood lyrics from 1940 to 2020 suggest a trend of lexical narrowing. In mid-20th century, the era of lyricists like Sahil Ludhianvi, who is a very, very famous Urdu poet, his songs, lyrics, ghazals are also present in this book. And Kafi Azmi, the Urdu used in songs were diverse, employing complex metaphors and varied vocabulary. And the perfect example for it is Chaya Chaya. Chaya Chaya is this song that if it's played, my friends and I will be on the floor dancing. And it has lyrics like, oh my god, oh my god. In 21st century, while the percentage of Urdu words remain high in romantic ballads, the variety of those words has collapsed. Modern lyrics rely on standardized love lexicon, a small recycled basket of high frequency word like ishq, dil, dua, saza, humsafar, which is, and the song that reminds me of this is Chalya. It is from Jawan, and I like that song. I like that song a lot, but the lyrics are so generic Urdu lyrics. It's like ChatGPT wrote it. And you can argue that this trend represents the popification of Urdu. The language has not been replaced, but it has been frozen. It is no longer a living, evolving poetic medium in film, but a set of static keywords inserted into songs to signal that this is a sad song or this is a Sufi song. And a perfect example for it would be Adil Mushkil, the album. When plays the title track, it's a very heavy, sad song. It's very sort of a Sufi song. And it was sung because of the main character Ranbir Kapoor's sad life ka, dukhda. He was crying where he couldn't be with Anushka Sharma, but he was with Aishwarya Rai. Oh my god, that's such a sad dukhda. I wish I could have that sad dukhda. But I digress. But the kind of song that is also present in the album is a breakup song. दिल पे पत्थर रख के मुंह पे मेकअप कर लिया. It has a lot of Urdu words, but they are like frozen. So Urdu words are just used to show the sadness or the dard, a disco ka dard emotion of the songs in India. Nothing more than that. It's not a living, breathing, evolving language in India anymore. The shift from Urdu as a poetic system to Urdu as standardized keyword list is what is affecting Bollywood songs or indie songs in general. The third theory that has come up during the research on this topic is functional allocation and code mixing. The paper that mentions it is Mixer's Lyricing in English by Yamuna, Kachru, and related code switching studies. So this research explores the rise of Hinglish, that is English and Hindi mixing, and places Urdu with a functional allocation framework. This means that in modern Indian music, different languages are assigned different emotional jobs, like I talked about Adil Mushkil as an example. So English is allocated the function of modernity, partying, and youth identity, like it happens in a lot of Bollywood songs. Hindi or Punjabi is allocated the function of rhythm and rustic energy, while Urdu is strictly allocated to the function of deep emotion, vulnerability, and heartbreak. This explains the indie music trend of 2015 to 2025. The artists like Local Train, Anuv Jain, all often switch to heavy Urdu vocabulary specifically when the songs reach its emotional climax. The researchers suggest that for the modern Indian listener, Urdu has ceased to be a dialect of daily communication and has become a register of high emotion. We switch to Urdu when Hindi isn't sad enough. And Urdu is no longer a dialect of geography but a register of emotion. And now the fourth theory that comes up in this research is the Punjabi substrate hypothesis. Now, Punjabi as a language is very much used in Bollywood as well as indie songs. Like people use very hardcore Punjabi phrases, even though normal Indian audience would not understand Punjabi, but they still do, which is not the same anymore for Urdu, as we talked about the popification of Urdu previously. Punjabi language and Urdu also share similar roots. I mean, Pakistan, the primary speaker of Urdu language, they still have a state called Punjab, and so does India. So, of course, there is room for these two languages to mingle, to mix up, just like Hindi and Urdu have. And this research, this theory is based on the socio-linguistic analysis of 2015 to 2025 Bollywood pop era. Recent trends indicate a shift from Hindi Urdu base to a Punjabi Urdu base. In past, Urdu vocabulary was grafted onto Hindi grammar, which is called as khadi boli, like we say. Post 2015, due to the massive commercial success of Punjabi pop, Urdu vocabulary is frequently grafted onto Punjabi grammar. This creates a hybrid lyricism where high Urdu of the past, the formal, the polite, the one with nuance, is replaced by street Urdu, which is mixed with Punjabi aggression or swagger. ਆਣ ਜਾਣ ਦੀ ਪਸੂੜੀ ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਹਿਰ ਬਣੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇਰੀ ਪੀ ਜਾਵਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਪੂਰੀ ਨੂੰ This challenges the traditional view of Urdu as solely a language of polite culture, tehzeeb, like we say, rebranding it as a part of a globalized urban Indian identity. So that was the scientific part of the entire discussion. And while art and science go hand in hand, that is something that I have been believing since the beginning of forever. Arts also requires one thing that science doesn't: human interaction. Science continues to exist with or without human beings. Art cannot exist without human interaction, without the existence of human beings itself. Art is human and human is art. Like we talked about the commodification of Urdu language, the disrespect paid to the pronunciation of Urdu language. These are the things that has happened and will continue to happen if we do not do something about it. We do not bring upon the change. And that's what youth should do, bring upon change. So while reading this book, there was a poet, Mir Taki Mir, and it was written that his grave was demolished in the building of Lucknow railway station, and although a memorial site has been built there to pay him respect, this goes on to show how little we respect a person who has contributed so much to Urdu poetry, and how much we neglect a person's last resting place in the name of development. And there are innumerable authors, poets in this. Mirza Ghalib is, I think, the only person whose resting place is still, considered a place of tourist attraction and has been paid respect well. I think so for Sahil Ludhianvi as well. And Delvi, I as well, whose resting place is very near to Mirza Ghalib's resting place. But that's not enough. We need to speak in Urdu. We need to read in Urdu. We need to expect art to be present to us in Urdu, like we expect it with Hindi or English or Punjabi or any other language. Well, to the speakers of Urdu, well, my humble request is to speak more in Urdu. Introduce people who are non-native speakers of Urdu or don't speak Urdu in day-to-day life. Introduce them to Urdu. Tell them about good Urdu songs. Tell them about good Urdu poets. I am pretty sure if someone does that to me, I would 100% love it. But it's not, I know, not your responsibility or duty to introduce the non-native speakers to Urdu. But I think it's collective duty for people who are able to speak this beautiful language to keep this language alive. And I am sure there are many, many people like me or anyone else, many people like me who would support you in your endeavor to keep this language alive. For people who are non-native speakers like me or don't speak at all like me, you know what to do. Read more Urdu poetry, read about the people who have written this poetry, read about its significance, do your research, listen to a lot of Pakistani bands. I know it's banned and disabled on Spotify. I mean, Jal still exists. Thank God Jal's music is still there on Spotify. Oh my God, please don't take it away. But there's always YouTube. I mean, we need to do extra mehnat, but I'm 100% sure this language is worth it. Ask your friends who you know speak in Urdu to speak in Urdu with you and ask them to introduce you to new phrases. Google the meaning of phrases if you don't know. Don't just accept it the way it is. And in general, create resistance to the death of Urdu. The more we prevent the death of Urdu, the more we'll be able to preserve this beautiful language. And honestly, jitna Hindi is my language, utna hi Urdu is my language. It's Hindustani language after all. And I speak in Urdu day to day, even if I am not thinking about actively speaking in it. So might as well think of preserving it. I believe everything in this world is political. If you think that you are apolitical or politics doesn't affect you, it's just because you're privileged. And same goes with Urdu as well. I would give you one example. My friend and we recently went out and he was driving and we were talking about what we want to name our kid. He want to name his daughter Zoya or something, and I said that you can name her Amaira. It's a very good Muslim name. And he said, it's not a Muslim name, it's an Urdu name. And that's where it hit me. Even though I did not mean it in a very demeaning way or anything, it hit me. We have attached a language to a religion so much. And now that we are in a country with extreme religion, hate, and literally a war against a particular religion that has honestly done no harm to us. A religion cannot cause any harm. It's the people who do. And if you stop dissociating people with their religion, you would never be part of a democracy, honestly. But I digress. So, of course, this has been affecting all of us a little, thoda thoda karke, har jan ko. I hope you liked this video. This was a small video essay that I always wanted to make. And if there's anything you want to add, anything you want to let me know, and anything you feel I missed or something that my research missed, please let me know. I am open to suggestions all the time. Bye bye.